guys peeps, welcome back to Snail TV. Well, we're on the Tuzuki today. I've got to make a couple of things up. I've got to put a bigger axle on the rear. I've got a spare, well, I've got two spare 50s and I'm going to be using one, my mate's going to be using the other. But we're going to make a couple of plates. I'll show you that in a second. And also we've got just a spare turbocharger to make up some sort of exhaust manifold or something. And also what position to locate it with. I was thinking about actually doing it on top, but turns out that it's going to be, I don't know, I think it's going to be a bit hectic. So I was thinking about this way up top, like that, and the exhaust coming straight out the back. I still like it, but I haven't sort of made my mind up yet. But then also right in the center here, I was thinking right in the center. Right in the center would be easier to make a manifold up. It's not always about the easiest though, it's about the conventional's location. So we've got to make sure we're getting that. But for the meantime, I need to mount these carriers. So these carriers, these 50 carriers, are totally different bolt pattern to everything that I've got on here. So I need to cut off the sides, the mountings, and actually weld up these carriers. So I need to make them. I've got some 5mm plate, just a tad heavy, but you know, always better to be on the safe side. So yeah, let's get back to the bench. Let's cut a couple of things up and let's start making up the carrier mounts, and then we'll get back onto the exhaust mount, the turbo location and turbo. Let's try to see what we can mount it today. Stop. Alright guys, so yeah, I've made up the plates now. Sorry I couldn't show you all of that. The plasma cutter kept cutting out for some reason. I think something wrong with the PowerPoint. It's just, yeah, drawing a bit too many amps, but I'll address that later. That doesn't matter. Yeah, so they all come up right. I end up using a grinder and a hole saw. 30 minutes and yeah, you got yourself a couple of plates. Drilled a couple of some holes, and yeah, she's all sweet. So yeah, everything's good, ready to go. A little bit overkill, as I did say. Should have only used that 3mm plate, but this is 5, so yeah, it's going to be stronger than anything, but it's what it is. It's on the two ends, so yeah, it should be for the good. Let's go over to the car. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what we need to cut out on the two sides, and then we'll put these plates in the mold. Alright guys, so as you can see with the plates, alright, ready to go. I've got M8s there, M10s there, just how they wanted it. Alright, exactly the same on the other side. So it's 5mm, as you can see, was 3mm on this side. This was 3mm, so yeah, as I was saying, that the 5mm was a little bit heavy, but yeah, the more the merrier pretty much. Yeah, everything is all sweet. I just had to clean up this one in the center. These are actually only meant for 40mm axles, so I've cleaned up the middle one. I'm only going to run the two ends, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that. So I just need space on the other side for the brake carrier, the sprocket as well.
And yeah, so that all looks pretty sweet. Let's come over here, let's give it a tack, let's do some measurements, make sure that we're both straight, and yeah, we'll weld it up. Alright peeps, well yeah, that's the creation. That's what I was thinking about doing. And yeah, I think it's come up pretty sweet. So it's just a bracket there to hold it in place, so then we can knock everything up. And yeah, I think it yeah, looks pretty awesome about on there. I really wanted something like on, you know, not like that or like that, but I really wanted to actually hire the turbo itself. So all I'm thinking about the oil drain was coming through down here and doing a hole right up top there, just a fitting in the top of the crankcase there. And yeah, so that's just easier there. The oil is pretty easy as well, comes off of the port. So exhaust now, I'm actually going to have it around the other way. Get that out of the way. And then as you can see from this side, now we've actually got the turbo this side, the turbo in this side. So they're going to be come around and actually going to be tubed around here instead, and then actually into the turbo that side. So I quickly made up a bracket there, a flange there, so we can actually weld something to it. So yeah, let's get a couple of pipes out. Let's ring this up. Let's weld this bracket up as well, just so it can actually hold it. It's an M10 underneath there. All right, drilled straight through. I'm probably just gonna leave that there. I'll make it look nice and I'll cap it up and stuff like that, so it'll look nice. But yeah, it's really to take the weight off the turbocharger, and it's actually doing a really good job. So when that's gonna be hard, pretty much hard flanged to the throttle bodies, guys, and also the exhaust manifold into the side here. So once that's done, I think that will look sweet. So let's take it over to the table, let's take all this off, let's weld all this up, and yeah, let's start piecing together some, I guess, some manifolds, and to see what we sort of can come up with. But just got to be careful, because I need to keep right here for the sprocket. The sprocket's actually going to come out this side, and it's actually going to come out, all right, of here and come out further, and then actually going to be geared off the side here with the chain off the side. So that's how I'll sort of set it up. guys, well, that's the start of the manifold. I've got the actual headers done themselves. I've never sort of made much of a log manifold myself before, but yeah, we'll give it a go. It's going to work, we know it's going to work, but yeah, it's just how we go from now, I guess. So what I was thinking was cut the bend just a tad shorter and we'll come straight up. All right, then we'll literally, yeah, come into the top there. So pretty easy. So yeah, nothing special. All right, yeah, so we'll cut that bit shorter now. All right, we'll come up. We've got a couple more bends here as well, and yeah, 2.5 inch squashed. We'll do that really, really nicely. So straight off it. So you can tell that's going to be like that on that side, and it's going to be like that on that side. All right, get to it. Alright guys, so yeah, that's our turbo manifold. Bit hectic, but I think it's going to work pretty sweet. Alright, it's going to be all heat wrapped as well, so don't forget that. And just a little teardrop on the exhaust there, just to make it look a bit neater. I'll clean up everything else, be heat wrapped as well. Turbo's mounted guys, if it starts up, it'll make 20 noises. Alright, so now intake manifold. So that's what we're after. I'm thinking we just sit pretty much flat plate. All right, and then some 2-inch half cone, and then either V-band it or weld it straight to it. I don't want to make any nothing custom too much on this thing. As I said, this is going to be a crazy one. It's going to be a little bit different on this one. I'm still going to be using all the same fittings and stuff like that, but yeah, we wanted to make it as easy as possible, pretty much. And as I said then, no lag. It's going to go straight into the intake, guys. I want it to be no lag or boost. That's why the smaller turbo, you can tell how much smaller the turbos are. And then yeah, I think that should be pretty sweet. So yeah, let's take the throttle bodies off now. Let's take them over to the bench. And yeah, let's make something up. All right, peeps, so come up with a bit of an intake plenum, intake pipe, whatever you want to call it. Really, it's not really a plenum, as I said, because it has individual throttle bodies. So cut pipes in half. I've made myself a joining plate which literally all clicks into place, and what I'm going to do is weld all that around it. All right, and then onto it like that. Okay, weld the end plates. All right, and the end plate here as well. And then, well, can do a joiner, joining one. And then a hole in the top. Weld the turbo to the top and done. Simple as that. Let's get that happening. Well, there you have it, peeps. Turbochargers on there. Now it's over to the left hand side a bit. There's a small diverter plate there. I've blown some air into it and it diverts it pretty nicely. So both sets of cylinders, runners get the flow really evenly. It's actually pretty close. So that's all come out really well. Really happy with that. Don't forget, this is not a plenum. This is just a intake pipe as such. Because they are individual throttle bodies, so it's all good. Also got to set up the cable as well, so we can do accelerator. I've got to organise accelerator, brake and clutch next. It is a cable clutch on this one. It's not a hydraulic, which is an easy thing. As we said before, we're talking about the oil drain. We're going to go into the crankcase breather over here. I'll just do a fitting, clean it up, and yeah, dash 10 or something like that, whatever it is, dash 8, dash 10. So that's all good. Oil, we've got to make sure that this one we can get over. This one here is for the tensioner. I'm not sure if it's high pressure. I'll have to have a look. If not, we'll go over the off of the oil sensor. But that's all pretty sweet. I've got to weld just a couple of fittings on the in and out of the fuel rail. So I'm not sure if I should get a fuel rail because this is the double fuel rail, so it has 8 outputs, but we should be able to do something. So yeah, we should be right. We should be able to work something out. So we should be able to get a on one side an in and one side an out as such, just in line. So we should be able to fit that. Just a -6 like always that I'll to put them on, guys. Yeah, so really happy with how everything come up. So we've actually physical got all the turbo hooked up. So I know it's, you know, just pretty basic. There's nothing special about it. You know, I'm not sitting there tigging it up or anything like that, but it's fabrication, so it's what it is. As I said to you guys, this is just purely a quick build on this cart just to get this up and going, because yeah, just to take some guys out for some runs. I know we're gonna have, you know, if we crash or something like that, I've never actually taken 2 people out, like, well, me and someone else out. So yeah, hence why we've got the smaller turbocharger, guys, so it spools up faster. No intercooler, it will be on methanol, okay guys, so don't worry about the non-intercooled, but as I've always explained to you, intercooler, even if it's on methanol, still will make more power. So we're not going after massive horsepower on it, we're just going after response on this one, guys. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with everything it's turned out. So yeah, it's all pretty, you know, as I said, pretty basic, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. The turbo stay there looks pretty sweet. The teardrop exhaust pipe looks alright. We've got the O2 bung there ready to go. Yeah, just got to do those oils, and yeah, a couple other things as well. So I've got to wait till I get I've got a couple of pedals here, so I can actually start setting them up at the start there at the front. Once we get them, then we can yeah, I've got to do as we as looked at, we've got to do 3 there. So we've got a clutch, also need a shifter as well. So we're going to try to fit everything somewhere, guys. It's pretty hard because I've got someone next to you, so we should be able to work something out though, and it should be right. We've got a bit of room on the side here, so we can always make a roll bar up and the shifter right on the side, because the wheels come out pretty far, guys. Alright guys, so yeah, really happy with how everything's turned out. Yeah, please share it around, and yeah, make everything, everyone have a quick look at it. So only a few bits and pieces and we should be able to get it running, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna have to leave it there, and thanks very much, guys, for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on next video. See you, peeps.